Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome back. It is Monday, July the 23rd, 2018. Um, Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. Not a computer video or a car video or anything like that. Um, Today we're going to be talking about something I thought about over the weekend. Um, for those that don't know, I own this house. And I'm a homeowner. I have been for about 4.5 years. And in that time, I've seen an increase in my property taxes every single year. And for those that don't know, they'll send you like a little card or a little thing in the mail once a year, and it shows you where your property taxes are going. So you pay for police and fire department and that stuff. And then there's county library, which we have here, which is a small portion. But my property taxes go predominantly, if you will, to fund the public school system. Now, I have my reservations about that as a homeowner, and I guess we live in a world today where people are afraid to open up their mouths and say anything because it's just something that we just accept, and if we don't accept it, we can just pack up and go and get the hell out of here and this and that and the other. Well, here's my thing. I'm a guy that's almost 40 years old. Going to be 40 in a couple of years. I have no children. Therefore, I am not utilizing the public school system. 30-some years ago, when I did go to school, and I got out 20 years ago, finished up, I considered myself a victim of the public school system. Because really, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I really didn't learn anything useful after about the 5th or 6th grade, other than a little bit of geometry and some earth science, which was an interesting class. I had two teachers from about the 7th grade through the 10th grade. My earth science teacher in my freshman year and my history teacher in my sophomore year that actually cared, and they were good teachers and cared about the class. I had a horrible shop teacher who made every day of my life a living hell, and that's when I decided after 2 years of that to take a high school equivalency test and close the books on my formal education. I did that. I achieved my high school diploma actually a month before I would have graduated from high school, so I'm proud to say that I achieved that goal that I told my parents I would do, and moved on. But I consider myself a victim of the public school system. It goes better for others, but that's just my story, and that was 20 plus years ago now. So that's, as far as I'm concerned, water under the bridge. But anyhow, fast forward to the current day. I don't utilize that public school system. I don't have kids. I mean, I'm still young enough to have a family if I want. If I meet somebody nice and, she feels like having kids. But for the time being, I am not utilizing the public school system. And I've always been told in life, you get what you pay for. Well, I ask you this. What the hell am I getting out of spending this money every year and seeing my taxes increase every single year? I live on a street where if it rains heavy, that it floods. And according to some of my neighbors that have been here in this neighborhood since the 1970s, it's done that a lot. In like your heavy, really super heavy downpours, my street actually floods out a little bit because it overwhelms the storm system. Yet my town will not fix that. But if there's a slight crack in the sidewalk in front of the school, they're actually They had the road all skinny, so you got to drive between cones right now because they're actually replacing all the sidewalks down at the elementary school, which is directly across the street from the high school, which several years ago they increased my taxes because they had to replace, their excuse was they had to replace a goddamn pipe underneath the football field. And you know, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, and I guess I'm going to be the first guy to open up my mouth and say something. I know others have said it before, but you know, hopefully this video goes viral. I would surely hope that this goes viral. I am a guy that is sick and tired of irresponsible behavior being rewarded. I'm going to elaborate on that now. Let me give you a scenario. Okay, I live in a town where there are actually, and the town I grew up in would apply as well. You have low income, middle income, upper middle income, a lot of that. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of wealthy, super wealthy people here. But, you know, I know people, and I could give you a scenario, you know, 27, 28-year-old girl with kids, living in mommy's basement. Father of the kids is not there because he's a loser. Let's say she works somewhere, makes about 32 grand a year, $30,000 to $32,000 a year. Okay, let's make it interesting. Now, she's got 2 kids, so she's going to be able to put her exemptions up her exemptions at work. So they take less money out of her paycheck every week, which allows her to have more take-home pay. Okay? Now let's fast forward to tax time. Okay? As she files her income taxes, she's going to get head of household. Even though she lives in her mom's basement, she has children, so she qualifies to file for head of household. She can get the child tax credit for the 2 kids and earned income. I'm telling you right now, that little girl is taking home a income tax refund, a federal income tax refund, close to $10,000. Going to get close to 10 G's from the federal government. I know this. I've seen taxes be done. I've helped prepare taxes and have seen it be done, seen the numbers work out that way. It's disgusting. They pay almost nothing all year, and then they get back nearly double what I'm paying a year in property taxes. And they don't pay any property taxes to fund the damn public school system that they're using, that I don't use. So I ask you people, how in the hell is that fair? As a taxpayer, as a guy that's up at 1:30 in the morning every morning, going out the door to my full-time job and busting my ass in a full-time job. How is that fair? It's not. Okay? So I need to get this shit off my chest, because I'm going to tell you what, it pisses me off as a homeowner. I've always tried to do everything right in my life, and these bums get rewarded for doing nothing except being irresponsible. And you know, by the way, nothing against having kids out of wedlock. That just happens for some people. I know some people, some women that have their kids out of wedlock and the relationships doesn't work out. But you know what? They also make good money. They work hard, and they're self-sufficient. They're taking care of their kids, and they're not asking for any handouts. But I got to tell you, situations like the situation I just gave you aggravate and annoy the hell out of me. Okay? It is time for the American people to wake up and say, hey, listen, you have kids, you're going to sign a document that says as soon as that child is 5 years old and starts school, you will pay school tax whether you are a homeowner or not. You're going to fund the public school that you use. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, okay, most of you probably still drive automobiles that run on gasoline. So you have to go to the filling station once a week, once every 2 weeks or whatever. I just drive my whip to work and drive it home. Okay, so I fill mine up every 2 weeks. I got an 18-gallon tank in the Taurus, so I fill it up every 2 weeks. And hopefully I can get a little more out of it after I do the spark plugs and wires. I'm going to swap them out this weekend. Maybe we'll do a video on it. I got to go on the website and order the parts. Hopefully they can get here by the weekend. You know, that's it just gets me, you know. But you go to the gas station and you fill your car up. You don't fill up the entire neighborhood's car, and you don't do it all year long. So why the hell should you pay for something you're not using? You know? And then the other thing I have an issue with, I think about the town where I grew up. Now, I happen to know some people that are teachers in the town where I grew up. And I know for a fact that they're earning a lot less money than some of the old-time teachers from back when I was going to school. You know, why isn't teacher pay equal? Why do you have some teachers that make as much as $30,000 to $40,000 more than another? And I'm not going to say a year because they work 8 months out of the year, 8 to 8.5 months out of the year. So I'm not going to say 30 to 40 grand a year or more. No, because they work 8 months out of the damn year. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to insult teachers. And I'm not here to insult people to have their kids out of wedlock. Okay? I give 2 thumbs up, all the props in the world, those of you teachers out there that try your hardest and keep your kids enthused. And you know what? I'm going to give that to the younger teachers because the younger teachers try harder and they do a better job. They have newness and fresh ideas. You know? So all the credit in the world to the teachers that do that. You should be making the same pay as somebody that's been doing the job for 30 years. We need to take the unions and the tenure out of teaching our children. And it needs to be about teaching the children, excuse me, since I don't have kids. I did help raise my nieces, though. So, you know, that's just my thoughts, you know. If you happen to watch this video and you want to give your thoughts on things, that's fine. Don't insult me because any insults will be deleted. You know, keep the comments polite. But if people happen to agree with me, I mean, don't be afraid to speak your mind if you agree with me on this. This is wrong. You know, why are we paying for stuff that we don't use? You know, I'm not going to go put tires on my neighbor's car. I'm going to put tires on my car when it fucking needs tires. You know? So I don't know. I guess we'll call that the PcLover81's World Rant for 2018. And, you know, we'll lay off the political stuff, guys. I don't want this to be a political channel or anything. It's just my thoughts on a subject. And on that note, I got to go back to work tomorrow, so... yeah, vacation's winding down. I did get a lot done. We got the spark plugs done in Mom's car. I got Windows 10 on most of the computers since support's going to be ending for 7 next year. I decided to just go ahead and get all 8 machines done. Got some other stuff coming up. We might be moving some components. I got to see what's going on. I got the spark plugs and wires and stuff to do in my car. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, and if there's time, we'll get some video of it. I got a new cell phone. I'm an Android guy, so I went with a Galaxy J7, which is just the right for me. It's not too full of features, and it's a little bit bigger than that HTC phone that I had before. And it only costs, you know, a couple bucks more per month for the plan that I have, so it's worth it to me. So on that note, we're going to call this one done, and y'all have a goody-goody, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, by the way.